Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's see. Well, it's no one's. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Oops. Hold on, give me a second, guys. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's see. Well, it's no one's. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Oops. Hold on, give me a second, guys. Okay, let's see. Well, it's no one's. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. So, testing, 1, 2, 3. Okay, I think this is the mic's working. I'm just kind of double checking to make sure if it's not robotic-y or anything like that. Still trying to clear my throat. It's been kind of hectic this past month. I don't know why. Ever since I got back from my trip to Vietnam, I don't know why the air whatever it is, it's just messing up my throat, and I've been coughing and just been kind of like raspy in my voice. It's getting better. So anyways, let's get straight to the point. If for anyone who's watching this, I mean, just message here on the chat. But anyways, well, I'll just start off reviewing what I have so far. So I got my Anki app open, ready to start my method. Well, ready to review my method, basically. I got 3 cards basically kind of in queue right now. So let's check it out. Okay, so for the first card to review again, YouTube Grappler's Guide by Jason Scully. That's a YouTube channel, and the name is Craig Jones. Zieg half guard, choi bar, arm bar, bringing leg over the head. So I'm gonna just quickly go over this card real quick. So how I review the information of the knowledge of each and every Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu technique this is how I do it. First I open the card, and then I look at the back of the card. Now, for some of you guys who are very Anki pros and advanced users out there, I know that there's a lot more settings and features that I could be utilizing to make this reviewing process even more efficient and enriching thing to do. But for this video, again, I always like to keep things simple and basics, because by making it simple and basic often makes them more easier and approachable for new viewers who have never used Anki before. It gives them a simple and approachable starting point to understand how the app works and why it's useful. So anyways, yeah, maybe for my next card, after I'm done reviewing, I'll try the some other features. Okay. Anyways, so YouTube, see, so if you have no idea what you're looking at when you see this notes, well, this notes is supposed to make sense for me. It's my own method to convert information into code form. And by doing that, I find it gets the knowledge into my head much easier and better, and less of a hassle. The process is that you take complex information and converting them into simple ideas, so your brain is able to process them more easily because they're more in a simple context approach, and they're more in a puzzle kind of form where it's your job, after you write this kind of note code form, it's your job in the future when you look at it again just to figure out what the heck that I just wrote. So that's basically it. So this is a video tutorial of that I did for this from this YouTube tutorial. Timestamp is 11, so if you guys want to pull up the video and follow along to check if I'm recalling all the steps right in my head, yeah, just quickly look up at this video and follow along. And this is the timestamps of each part, each step. And let's go for the first line of code. So first line of code is go over, keep safe, go over, keep safe, close the precision, frame, go over, sweep sweat, push away. I'm in half guard. I'm basically pushing away with my right arm, and I have his left leg in my half guard. That's what that first line code means. So go to timestamp 11, beginning of the video, and play that part and see if I did it right. Now, the second part is anticipate opponent, move forward, push away, take opportunity, close the position. So if my opponent, while in my half guard, he decides to push forward and push his head past my framing arm, that's the right arm, he's gonna pass forward past my right arm, and this is my cue to take action to set up the choi bar. And from here, as he's doing that, this is when I make my grips. I'm not going to make, in this line of code right here, step 2, the second section of step 2, it's right here at 0014, that's the timestamp. This is when I clasp my arms together to make a grip. Not palm to palm, but more wrist to wrist in a way. It's more modified, I guess. I think it's more better that way. I don't know. Hey, Craig Jones is the expert. He's teaching this, so I don't know. But anyways, so sweet spot ideal at this when you're making that grip right here at timestamp 20. The idea is you want to clasp where his shoulder joint is, and where his shoulder joint is when you're gonna pull towards and keep pressure, hold down, take away, hold position is greater than warning, is better than escape. So what this means is that, yeah, if at this point opportunity, I pull with all my, like, I don't know, not strength, but like enough to pull his shoulder joint down to my body to connect it, keep contact. And this is this way to restrain him. To start setting up for the choi bar, and this is better to do, and it's greater than the warning, because the warning is that he would escape if I don't do that. So yeah, that's step 3. Step 4 is take opportunity equals let go, move back. This is when I let go of my frames from my legs from the half guard. So I unhook my right leg and scoop back with my butt to the floor and make enough room to start, the next part is swinging that leg over the guy's head. Give me 1 second. Okay, anyways. Go over, sweep sweat, keep safe, prepare. That's step 5, where I swing my leg over his head, towards his back, and just keep it in place. Is my right leg. Step 6 is take opportunity, go over, sweet spot, go around. And this is when I'm going to, let me see if my brain can put the pieces together again. Okay, yeah. This is when I'm kind of starting to go more around his arm. And this is when I'm going to let go of my right and have my left hand that's still on this joint to clasp and make a grip on my right leg that's going over his body. Now I'm gonna close that position and It's a better position, more pressure, and it's gonna frustrate my rolling partner or opponent at that part. Because yeah, I mean, the more I'm going around, the more my opponent's arm is spanning out away from them, and the more pressure is on that arm. Anyways, let's see. Now go under deep. This is when I'm gonna go on all the way under with my right foot towards the other side to his other the opposite of his hip. So just make a hook all the way deep past his belly towards the other side of his hip. And this is preparation. This is where everything finally goes all together, and all for the last steps is step 8. And step 8 is basically, yeah, I'm going to, with my right arm that's free, gonna at the same time going to clasp and grip his hand to keep his thumb from pointing towards me, because it's preferable if his thumb is away from me, and that's when I can make the choi bar. But if his thumb is towards me, then the choi bar might not work, because it's like his elbow, like he can if his thumb is facing towards me, then it's like the elbow, it's bendable. But if it's away from me, now the elbow is not bendable. I don't know, guys. This is how I kind of review information from Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tutorials. It's more in a weird way. It works for me because in a way I'm in like in the spectrum of autism in a way. Not too far, but like somewhere where like I can't really focus. If I need to do something that keeps me like attentive, or I'll get distracted easily. And this type of note taking, I know it's not for everyone, but for me, it really keeps my mind like focus. And then when I do get distracted, I can always like, okay, I'm gonna take a break from here, then come back later to read the rest or finish coding the rest of the technique. And it gets me organized and have a sense of making progress from where I left off. So that way I don't, if I have notes and I go, if I had the regular notes, if I go and I come back, I feel like with just regular notes of just writing things down in detail and descriptive, it doesn't work for me, because when I come back to review them, I honestly kind of feel like I forgot, because it's so obvious. Like I'm reading the notes and it doesn't make my mind think or make connections. It just feels like I'm just reviewing something that it's not doesn't feel like it's sticking. You know what I mean? I need something that's more stimulating than that. And that's why I created this sort of note-taking method. It just links everything together, and it gives enough information for my brain to stimulate and start connecting and figuring things out, rather than, oh, this is where you put the hand to the hip. Like when I hear that instruction, it's like, dude, this is like not I'm not putting furniture. Like if it's too descriptive, it's not making me think. I want to keep the information in my head. You know what I mean? After I'm looking at something, I want the information to shoot straight into my head towards my brain. You know what I mean? But anyways, let's finish the rest. So situation number 2. Step 1 is situation 1. So this is a linking block, and it links toward to the last part of situation 1, which is step 8. Because step 8 right here, section 1 of step 8, section 1 of step 8. And it's every block in the section 1 of step 8. So all this. So what does this mean? Very common: anticipate point, jump up, move forward towards, move forward to, make harder to, goal is to. So I'm recalling that well, as I'm doing the choi bar, if my opponent or partner, rolling partner, is freaking out at this part of the step, they're most likely gonna like move their body forward, forward towards my legs, and bring their hips up. And it's like they're almost about to roll, but not really. At this point right here is that they're hoping somehow, that they can, wiggle me off in some way at this point, or get their thumb, like get me to loosen my my grip on their hand so they can like face their thumb towards me and somehow slither, well, man, their arm out like a snake. I mean, that's how I'm recalling the information. That's what I'm interpreting what I wrote from this line of code. Again, this is basically a game where I hold a picture or word over my head, and I don't know what the word or picture is. So if I had a second me, the other me's job is to not give the answer, but always constantly make myself, who's holding the card over my head, think and make connections until I finally figure out the answer on my own. So your job is not to be too descriptive or obvious. Your job is to give hints, clues, or be cryptic as much as you can until the other person can finally figure out the answer on their own. So that's basically what I'm doing to myself. I make these notes. I make the notes now, and then in the future, I'm hoping that my future self will figure it out. So yeah, it's like a little fun puzzle game that I'm giving myself in the future. Anyways, so it's important to do first equals, yep. At this point right here, I have to make sure that I'm gripping the basically the hand, of course, so that way to prevent them from moving forward and wiggling their hand out to stick their thumb towards me. Anyways, situation number 3, step 1, situation. So step 1, so here's another linking block right here, situation 2. So it was talking about this on the 4th block. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This is when my opponent decides it's not working. So he's gonna decide to roll over. Rolling over, just like if you're trapping them in a goto plata, one of those technique where you put the foot over their face and have them in like a weird arm lock while you move past around them, and they usually roll to escape it. The same thing for here. So go plata, yeah. Yeah, they're gonna roll over, and not to worry, just keep following them, and you're gonna land in a familiar situation where you're gonna be back in this this basic armbar, both feet over the head, well, 1 feet over the head, another one across the chest. Yeah, squeezing your legs together, keeping the back of the tricep close to touching the hip as you can, so there's no room for them to like push their arm out, and you're in a basic traditional arm bar. So I'm gonna decide from the 4 buttons of how my review went with this card. There's 4 buttons again, and the first button is if I've got it wrong, it will come back 15 minutes later, and then I have to review the whole notes again, this whole code note again in 15 minutes. Or it was hard, and there's some sort of algorithm with Anki that you can set up, but usually if it's hard, it'll come back 4 days later, and there's an algorithm where it'll adjust itself to make it more often to be reviewed, per se. You guys can go search up Anki and figure out more of how to adjust the algorithm yourself in the app. It's quite interesting, but it's very, like, it won't take too long to look up and do. But I recommend you guys, when you first download the app, make sure, just go look at tutorials and everything. And it should take about 30 minutes to figure out everything about the app, honestly, and it's straightforward. But usually if you feel like 30 minutes is a little too long, yeah, just start off downloading the app and just do the basics, and eventually you'll learn a thing or two here and there, and eventually you'll figure out everything about the app and be a pro at it. I've been using the app for like a couple years now, and I learned enough to make it work for me, for what I need it for. Anyways, was it good? We'll come back 5 days later, or was it super easy? It'll come back 8 days later, and you sometimes when you want to press the easy button, like you think, oh, this review was so successful for any kind of card, whether you're learning a language or learning, you're a doctor learning medical terms, or a lawyer learning law terms. If you review a card or a vocabulary and you feel like it was so easy, yeah, then press the easy button. The easy button is hold on, I feel like my gain is a little bit too much. Hold on. Like, okay, anyways. Yeah, so easy button, you gotta be careful with it because it does affect and adjust the algorithm where it becomes more or less frequent for review, right? You see it less often because, the Anki app thinks, oh, since this card is so easy, you don't need to review it as often, so we're just gonna push it for who knows how long. I mean, sometimes when you press easy and all of a sudden you press the easy button, it will come back a year later. So you won't see that card for review a year later, unless you're very confident that you feel like a year later will pass and you feel like, oh, don't worry. If I see that card again to review in 1 year later, I'm pretty confident I'll be able to, open it up and recall everything from it. So you're that confident, but I always play it safe by going green, good, 5 days, sure. And my whole goal is to get the card to be less reviewed as far as I can. And I usually try to put the limit to a year, but I have some cards in queue that won't be seen in 3 years, and that would be some of my language vocabulary decks in my Anki app. Right now I'm currently using the Anki app for Brazil to memorize Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu techniques, but also I am using the Anki app to learn Vietnamese because I'm Vietnamese, so I always try to make sure I'm trying to up to date in my speaking in that language. But anyways, this is good. Okay, well, that was a lot of talking. Now, let's see, YouTube, BJJ Techniques, attacking arm lock from top lock position by John. Oh, I messed up. It says, doesn't say bye. That's for sure. Okay, by John Donner. There you go. Mistakes fixed. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, okay. Yeah, so from my last stream, as I'm renumbering, as I am remembering, yeah, I didn't finish this card yet. So I'll just save it after I review the other one. So I'm just gonna press again, because the card's not finished yet. Okay, so the next card in YouTube by a channel called Animal, and it's called the Rocking Chair Choke. Okay, yeah, as we're recalling, this tutorial was pretty short, probably like under a minute, and it was a short. So yeah, so let's just review it real quick. Anyways, let's go through the steps. This first part right here in line of code, it's basically me on side control, and I have a Kimura grip. Second step is basically me pulling towards with the Kimura grip and leaning more towards on the other side to make space for my left leg to jump over. This is step 3 is basically me swinging my left leg over his head. Yep. Swing around, keep safe. Yep, that's basically it. Step 4 is this is when I let go of the Kimura grip with my left hand and I am swimming under his neck, under his chin, and I'm gonna let go with my right arm and I'm gonna make a cable grip, basically connecting those two for his head to be restrained. And the final finishing move is when I lay back from that position and swing my right leg over to lock into this sort of triangle setup. You know what I mean? So from this triangle setup, I honestly finished with the rocking chair choke. And that's how, and I say that card was pretty good. Okay, I'm really debating whether I should go back and finish this card because I did do a similar card by John Danaher about attacking the arm from the arm lock from top lock position, and top lock position is his like extra step between like fully going for the arm bar and like or like keeping everything ready in guard. So it's like between those two is an extra insurance that the arm bar or the arm lock will have a higher chance of being executed. Yeah, I mean, I like that precaution of it because especially for especially when rolling with more advanced grapplers, like, you know, blue to, you know, from there to black. I mean, doing the basic armbar from guard is, you know, it's not going to be enough. You know what I mean? Because most people, when they're blue belt and up, they're going to know what you're doing. And it's not going to be like an elemental surprise. It's going to be like anticipation, and they're going to exploit the spaces that you make when you try to do a fundamental armbar from guard, you know. And you know, there's minor adjustments. There's minor adjustment you can do once you reach to a level, certain point where you'd be like, okay, I need to be tighter here. I need to swing a little more here. And you know, to the average person or person who just started doing BJJ, when they see those adjustments, they're not going to see the adjustments. It's going to be very subtle. It's going to take a more of an keen eye of someone who's been doing jiu-jitsu for a while to look at it, and you think they're just doing a fundamental basic armbar, you know, but like, you know, there's little details they're adjusting to make sure the other person will less likely escape from it. So I like John Johnner's approach. He does do little subtle things like, you know, when you are doing the basic fundamental armbar from guard, yeah, you're usually gripping the wrist that's here closest to your chest or your neck, and the other one you're gripping the back of the tricep. For John, though, he grabs the back of the neck, back behind the head, and this will ensure that posture is still kind of broken against the other guy, so he doesn't straighten up and posture again, because that ruins the chances of finishing the armbar. So he always keeps the posture broken by the guy, and this gives a higher chance for the armbar to be successful if the guy has lost his posture. But anyways, it is a long video. Do I really need to learn it? I'm really debating it. Well, before we start, wait, hold on, close tabs. Okay. Yeah, it's gonna be my thing's pretty interesting. This is basically my son. He likes to watch this stuff. Yeah, it's probably best as a parent not to let them watch these scary things, but hey, you know, it's whatever. Let's see. Okay, well, playlist. Okay, streams. Oh, my brain's not working right. Okay, oh yeah.
Hi guys,
Okay, let's just do that. Hmm. Oh no, yeah, I honestly just don't want to finish this card. Because I already have a similar card to it. And so watching this, you know, this card again is just not interesting. It doesn't like get my gears going. Maybe passing the seated card with Unhooks by John Donner. You know what? Yeah, let's do light day. This is a 2 minute and 23-second video. And yeah, I mean, you know, it's always good to learn, add more passes to my knowledge. Let's see if I can like.
we've been looking at the idea of passing a supine guard.
I'm gonna add a card. So yeah, let's just start fresh. Be honest. It's been a long day today, and I kind of don't want to do a card that I feel like I already know the knowledge from. I mean, like I'm saying, like even though I am watching and memorizing things from these tutorials, is not exactly mean that I'm an expert or good at utilizing them. Like I always hear, knowledge with practice. No, let's say acquiring knowledge is the first step to developing skill. The second step is knowledge with practice comes skill. So I have the knowledge, but I need to refine it and refine it through practice. So when I do try to show up, when I do get the chance to show up to my gym again, I definitely need to drill it and work on it before I can really tell myself, oh yeah, I actually know how to do it. It's not just that I know the steps to it, but I know how to perform it on a live human being who's working against me. So yeah, I mean, but it's more like this. It's like, think of the idea of you're assembling furniture, right? You bought a new furniture from IKEA. It's like you gotta grab the manual, and you know, with my coding note method thing, it makes it easier for me to memorize the whole manual. So that way, as I'm assembling the furniture together, I don't really have to be annoyed by reaching over to the manual and looking it over many times back and forth while assembling this furniture. I can just assemble the furniture and I can enjoy it. And, you know, just think of it as, you know, like, yeah, I'm memorizing the manual, and now it's my job is to take that knowledge and assemble the final piece all together later physically, right? You can't just get good at BJJ with just knowledge alone. You know, there's more to that. Anyways, okay, BJJ for next is the YouTube channel. Hold on, BJJ Fanatics and dash. Okay, I'm just gonna type it out. It's always a hassle just trying to copy and paste it on this PC because the words just are just too big. Passing a seated guard with underhooks by John Donner. Okay, that's pretty good so far. Okay, to start off the code method thing, like I always begin is by with a situational block. So situation 1. Situational blocks are a way to indicate different types of scenarios and applications that a technique can be used in the video tutorial. I use the chunking method to convert complex information into simple ideas, converting the knowledge into what I call blocks. These blocks are a way to give the technique more of a simple context approach for the brain to work with to memorize easier. Hold on, give me a second. I'm just making sure. I'm just checking through my OBS to see if you guys, sent something on the chat. But hey, you guys can just watch. I'm just hoping, anything, you guys have a question or whatever throughout the stream. I'm, down to, chill, talk, or, answer, if any questions the best that I can. That's within my abilities, Anyways, but yeah, to convert complex information to give it more of a simple context approach for my brain to work with, to memorize easier. Again, the ideas here, I'm going to type the first section right here.
With that preferred underhook grip. Now let's get the idea of passing a seated guard with our preferred underhook grip. As we approach a seated opponent, our thing is to get...
So we're starting at timestamp. At timestamp 10, so 0, 0, 1, 10. So again, always important to add the timestamp first. Timestamps are important to add at the end of the line of code. They are used as reference just in case of the line of code that I am going to read and cipher later in the future. This way I can save some time and hassle looking for the part that I'm having the most trouble or that I completely forgot what it means later in the future. Okay, someone message, whatever. Let's see. I've been practicing. Oh, okay, yeah. So how long have you been practicing BJJ? I've been honestly dedicated to it for I would say I started at 21, 22 years old. I was serious with it for 4 years. And then after that, it's been more of an on and off journey for in total of another 5 years. So in total, you could say it's been 9 years. I'm new to Anki, so this is helpful. Yeah, hey, welcome, man, welcome. Anki is such a great tool. If you plan on learning a language, especially any kind of language, I would say it's very helpful in helping you learn the vocabulary. If you're a medical student, it's a great software to help you memorize medical terms. If you're a lawyer, whatever. But anyways, it just makes learning more easier. Okay. But yeah, I wanted to show a way that I guess hopefully someone in the future has done it before, but I don't think anyone has used it to really effectively memorize using it for martial arts. So I'm hoping that would be the stepping stone for, more better methods out there to come out from Anki by utilizing Anki's full potential to help people memorize martial arts technique easier. Anyways, welcome. If you have any questions, just let me know. But as you can see, I'm starting things simple basics. There's a lot of tools that you that are very what's the word? Can be advanced, but if you want to keep things simple and basics, it's always best to start at that point. So that's what I'm doing. So as you can see my layout of the card, there's the front of the card, and there's the back of the card. So I have the title at the front of the card, and and all of my coding process to memorize techniques all in the back of the card. Anyways, let's just continue from where we left off. So timestamps. Okay. So where are we starting from here is John is okay. He's in up position, and this guy is in a low position. So step 1 plus, let's see. Okay. So how would I kind of break this into code form, looking just at this? Because my job is to make it into like simple ideas. Okay, so with the first abbreviation, I would say my opponent is in low position. So I'm gonna put a parentheses, low position. Low position, and put it out. Let's just give it a low position and put number 2 for now. And greater is greater or less than sign. John is in up position, so UP. I'm trying to figure it out. Okay. Okay, so this might not look like much for now, and I'm always choked. Well, it's kind of difficult to like break the code and while at the same time trying to explain, but I'm getting used to it. But overall, I think I'm gonna leave it like this for now to explain my thinking of why I wrote it this way. First of all, step 1 is, of course, step 1, step 2, how instructionals go. It's always like, yeah, put your hand here, put your hand over here. What if your opponent does this? This is step 3. Yeah, you obviously know this is a step block to indicate that. Plus signs are a way to express the combining of blocks together to guide the visualization and thinking into the right direction. I'll explain it more further as we go along. So low position 2. That's basically, well, LP is low position because this guy's in low position, obviously. The number 2 is to indicate this is the opponent or your rolling partner is doing. This is so, yeah. And UP is up position, and there's no number because that's you. That's basically you. I could say player 1 or player 2 if that makes it easier. So LP2 is player 2 doing, he's player 2. UP1 is, player 1 is on up position, right? But I usually don't add that because, the 2 just makes it easy. But anyways, this is probably enough information for my brain to later on try to figure out. I can always add more blocks to help myself in the future, give myself more hints to work with, to review. But let's just leave it off for now because I don't know why. My brain can't. I think my brain just can't. I think this is just enough.
Get our foot inside their feet. That's not always easy.
Hey man, if you, let's see. So Gnosticism. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but yeah, just let me know, man, if you're still around. But yeah, just let me know if my mic is still working correctly because I want to make sure it's nice and clear. So yeah, just let me know if it's kind of wonky or whatever. But anyways,
when his feet are close together. So very often from here there'll be some jousting. As we move in front of a training partner, there'll be some
okay, hold on.
very often, when his feet are close together. So
at timestamp 16, obviously it's going to be like fighting for position. I'm going to use that block. So at 0016. Oh yeah, by the way, man, since you asked, how long have you been doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? Let's see, step. Step. Actually, no. Here, usually when you're in this situation, it's very common. Wow, hold on. It's very common. Fighting for position. Okay, so I'm gonna use that kind of block, that abbreviation, fighting for position. That should be enough, but I can always add more.
Very often from here, there'll be some jousting. As we move in front of a training partner, we start to separate the feet. That's when we step in. Once we get...
Oh, okay. He has both of his arms just gripping the guy's wrist. Okay, palm to palm. Very common fight precision. Actually, I'll just make it into a step 2. So remember, if there were no steps in front of a line code, it automatically becomes a section part of wherever step block is above it. So say if I didn't have a step block in front of this code, it becomes part of step 1, and this is how I would count the sections of each section. So step 1 is the first section, and then, you know, the line of code that doesn't have a step block in front of it becomes section 2. Hopefully that will make sense. But anyways, I'll just make a new block. I'm hoping that later in the future, as I'm getting more viewers or whatever, I hope you guys, you know, yeah, just, you know, randomly challenge me at of trying to recall the information. Well, look, while even looking at the card, okay, like just randomly as I'm kind of chilling, just like tell me, oh yeah, we remember you did this tutorial using this method. Can you recall everything that you can from that tutorial from just your head? Don't even look at the card form. And I'm like, yeah, sure, I'm gonna try the best I can, honestly, because I feel pretty confident that if someone asks me, oh, what's the next step of they did this or that, I'll be like, just kind of like, it might take me a second or two or a minute to just kind of think about it. I'd be like, no, they did it this way at this time, like, you know, at this part of the video. And they'll be like, oh wow, that's wow, you got a really good memory. No, I just got a really good process of trying to recall things. And that's what I made my method for. It just really helps. And I hope it can help, you know, other people like me as well in the future. Okay, fighting for position. Hold on. Equals. So he did kind of clasp the both of this guy's hands together. So not together. Let's see. So he went and go over plus keep safe. Goes PRP. No. Oops. Plus go over plus keep safe. And this is preparing. So why did I write the line of code this way? Well, my brain's interpreting, connecting this of what this means. It's very common that obviously when you're in this situation, you're definitely gonna try to pass a guy or do something, right? You're not gonna just like, he's gonna sit on his butt and you're gonna stand there and just look at him. No, like in jiu-jitsu, I mean, unless it's a street fight, I would kind of turn around and run away because, hey, who sits in their ass to start fighting? Of course, that's the joke of the BJJ community, right? So, I know, if someone sits on their ass while on a street fight, I'm on top position, I kind of feel like, wow, you know what? I can just walk away. Honestly, this is kind of pretty sad, you know? But if it's a jiu-jitsu tournament, then yeah, I have to engage and I'll be like, okay, this is dangerous. I gotta make sure because if the guy's sitting on his butt, then he's ready to set up something, and I gotta be cautious. I gotta make sure that I strategize ahead and pass his guard and go around, which is, usually the case. If I can. Let's see, go over, keep safe, plus go over, keep safe. Prepare. Okay, so yeah, sorry, my mind gets distracted easily. It's honestly part of my autism. But anyways, so very common. So I got go over, keep safe. Is this arm's going over to keep safe at this guy's hand or wrist, and the other one's our other go over, keep safe is the same thing, other side, and this is preparation for probably something else that John is probably gonna set up in the video. Again, this is basically my first time watching the video, or although I did watch it a while ago and I added to this list because they interest me. It's been a while, so I probably forgot what happened in this video. So yeah, it's pretty much like breathtaking.
Get that step from here. We put two hands on our training partner's shoulders. So that When he tries to sit forward and come towards us, it's tough. We're making his feet light. Then we punch one of our elbows back to our own hip, just like so. And as a result, we're able to drive through and get to that classic underhook position. From here, we get to that classic hip, just like so. And as a result, we're able to drive through and get to that classic underhook position. Drive through, elbows back to our own hip, just like so. And as a result, we're able to drive through and get to that classic. One of our elbows back to our own hip, just like so. And as a result, we're able to drive through and get to that classic underhook. position. From here, my second hand comes out as a base for support. So when he tries to move us around, it's very, very difficult. Alternatively, we can move our head down. Alternatively, we can move our difficult. Alternatively, we can move our head down and use that as a base. base of support. We play between these two grips. We'll either go going far side out here, posting with the hand, or we're going near side head and the hand out like so. They're both great options. We've seen them both. From this position, as he goes to move us around, it's going to be awfully difficult. The only thing he has a purchase on is one of our feet. So the only thing between you and victory now is that right foot of yours. So we're going to use our foot, kick out, get a control of our training partner's elbow. So we're going to use our foot, kick out, get a control. Foot, kick out. Our foot, kick out, get a So we're going to use our foot, kick out. Get it control. The chin partner's elbow, and then settle down into a good pair. So once again, we have a seated opponent in front of us. First things first.
If you've ever wanted